catch me howling at the moon. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it, many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sunrise, when the sun.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right, y'all can hear me. Yeah, all right. I'm sounding amazing. Like I am. I'm sounding amazing. Hopefully, everybody is having a wonderful Sunday, wonderful Father's Day if you're into that type of thing. Nowadays I'm not co-hosting with anybody, so I don't need that thing on. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Man, how y'all doing? I had a video that I was going to release. And I mean, it wasn't long. It was like short. It's probably like TikTok length video where I was going to say, hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome. If you are, I had my No Ma'am shirt on, just speaking for the fathers and to the fathers out there. So we can have a good Father's Day. I was going to say, well, I said in the video, I said, you know what? Everyone, for Father's Day, I'm speaking on behalf of all the fathers. I'm going to take one for the team for Father's Day. The title is going to be Figure It Out Father's Day. Figure it out Father's Day. Okay? This is going to be the one Father's Day. Because I knew, look, fellas, I was going to take all the smoke for y'all. I was going to take all the smoke for y'all. Figure It Out Father's Day, was just going to be about, look, before you come bother us, figure it out. Your car making a funny noise, figure it out. One of the kids got a bump on, figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out Father's Day. That's what I was going to say today. Figure it out. But I didn't get a chance to upload the video. Right, I was definitely going to wear my No Ma'am shirt. Absolutely. No Man. What up, Black Cat? This is going to be Figure It Out Father's Day. Shoot. Ladies, for Figure It Out Father's Day, if you are hungry, if you are hungry, by all means, let us know. We definitely will eat with you. Hey, Billionaire Faye, I see you over there. We definitely want to eat with you on Figure It Out Father's Day. But in the spirit of figuring it out Father's Day, before you let us know that you are indeed hungry, first make sure that you are past the I can eat stage. Okay, make sure we are full blown hunger. And then after that, decide what it is you want to eat before you let us know. Figure it out Father's Day. That's all we want. You know, man, we are really not that difficult to figure out. We just want y'all to figure it out for Father's Day. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So, I mean, I had an awesome day. You know, Noonie and Wreck-It Ralph, they, you know, I mean, this Noonie and Wreck-It Ralph got me a big hunk of chocolate. That was amazing. I mean, can be no better than that. Big hunk of chocolate that I'll probably be eating on till Thursday. I got a table saw, a router, like a wood router, not like Wi-Fi router. Oh man, I'm so doggone happy. I don't know what to do. So shoot, I was like, look, let me spread a little cheer. Let's spread a little cheer throughout the broken army. So what are y'all up to? Naomi said that chocolate be gone. That chocolate will not be gone by tomorrow, Naomi. Okay, it will not. If I don't look, hold on, let me see. I have a picture of it. Oh, and listen, y'all, this is still Hoodoo Q&A. You know, I'm just talking right now, but if y'all have a Hoodoo related question, feel free to ask. Feel free. Just make sure you do me a favor, type that capital Q and then your question. That way I know. Oh, then my other nephew sent me a happy Father's Day. Thank you. But I have a picture. What's up, Leslie? I see you over there on Kick. I appreciate it. What up, Cherie, a.k.a. Nikki F. Baby? Please say the baby. Look, before we get too far in, let's do the Picture Me Rolling roll call. Over on YouTube, we got Sima. Thank you for being a channel member. Veva Embroidery Queen, thank you for being a channel member. Linglo Edwards, how are you? Calandra Fowler, thank you for being a channel member. Naomi, thank you for being a channel member as well. Brother Gohan, thank you for gifting that channel membership. Carlos, make sure you say thank you to Brother Gohan for that channel membership. Adrian Pettis, how are you? Stravani, thank you for being a channel member. Hoodoo Q, thank you for being a channel member. XRP, what's going on? XRP, as many questions as you ask, your name needs to be green. As many questions as you ask. Temperance Love, what up, Temp? How are you? Thank you for being a channel member. What Rasta, how are you? Keisha Garasalasi, what is going on? Preppy Princess, how are you? Zarina, thank you for being a channel member. Mariana, thank you for being a channel member. Black Cat, what up again, my boy? Thank you for being a channel member. Cherie, aka Nikki F. Baby, thank you for being a channel member and a moderator. What's up, New York? Kane and Mother, how are you? The granddaughter, hello. Naomi, I think I already got you, but thank you for being a channel member again, Naomi, if I didn't. Aaliyah, what's going on, Aaliyah? Thank you for being a channel member. Let's see who I got here. Denise, what up, Sonny? Thank you for being a channel member and a moderator. Hey, Scorpio Rising. Chris One Love, thank you for being a channel member. And Micah, what up, Micah? Hey, thank you for being a channel member. The XRP said, wow, put me on the spot. I'll fix it. Hey, we just talking. I see we got a few people over on the TikTok. I need to talk to y'all. I need to talk to TikTok. And before TikTok be like, whoa, what? No, listen, TikTok, y'all all right. It's not y'all's fault. But apparently, Karma Marie, thank you for the gifts over on TikTok. I see you. Thank you so much. And we're running a unified chat. Thank you so much, Karma Marie. I appreciate you. Miss Vibes, what's going on? So TikTok is like, not too much on us. No, this is not bad. I promise, this is not bad. So TikTok, apparently, since it's Father's Day, right? D-Kai said, oh, D-Kai said, this is why I go on over to YouTube. You be talking about us so much over here. It's all love, brother. It's all love. So TikTok, what up, Sid? I see you. Apparently, y'all thought that I was going to spend all Father's Day chatting y'all up in the DMs. Okay? If you've been chatting me up in the DM, it was not me. So there is a fellow or a group of who knows that are they're they're scamming y'all. And I promise you, it's not me. I do not have a second page. Okay, I do not have a second page. So look, make sure you don't see an S. Broken's profit or Broken Sproffit. Make sure you don't see that, because if you do, I promise you, it's not me. If they have like 4,000 subs or something like that, it's not me. But people are like, you got a second page, and it was like a couple of people who thought that, and I'm like, no, that's not me. I promise you, it's not me. Promise you, it's not me. So yeah, I think they figure, since it's well, it should be a holiday. I don't know if technically it's a holiday or not, but they figure a lot of people are going to be looking for some spiritual answers, and they trying to hit y'all up. So y'all make sure that y'all are talking to the global icon and the national treasure himself. If they're being too sweet and kind, it may not be. I'm just kidding. Y'all know I'm just a big teddy bear here doing the Lord's work. That's it. That is it. The Miss Harris Show. So I just started following you, and I have learned so much. I'm so thankful, and I am grateful for you and grateful to you as well. Miss Vibe said, just vibing. I feel you. All right, so the first question of the evening is Sravani says, question, my father passed away when I was 1 year old, and now I'm 21 years. My father had 5 sisters. They are troubling us a lot, so how can I make them nice to us and come and do sign on land registration? I'm gonna give you a hoodoo remedy, okay? They're today's the day for it. This is what I want you to do, Sravani. I want you to take a shallow bowl, and I want you to fill it up with sugar. Okay? Just fill the bowl up with sugar. I want you to take pictures of those family members, okay? Now, if you don't have their pictures, write their name 3 times on sheets of brown paper. Then roll them up and stick them into the sugar. You want them sticking out, so it should look like 3, rolled up pieces of paper sticking out of bowls of sticking out of the sugar. Now I want you to take a stick match and stick it inside of all of them. One in each, and then I want you to light them as if they're a candle. And then pray the 23rd Psalm, and then Isaiah 55:11, and then ask them to be nice. That should do it for you. Yoli, what's going on? Yoli says, hello, Prophet family. I know you don't have kids, but happy Father's Day regardless. I am the ultimate uncle. I'm so much the ultimate uncle that y'all be calling me uncle. I asked y'all what's official unk age, and the answers were wild. Hoodoo Q said, what is the working that I can do to protect my land from a family member trying to take it? Yikes. Okay, so have you driven the railroad nails into the 4 corners of your land yet? 45 plus is unk range. I'm there. I am there. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to take 4 railroad nails, and you are going to post them in the 4 corners of your property: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. All right, stick them down into that land. Okay, and then make sure you put a little bit of urine on the. Lord, I'm trying not to say the wrong thing. The flat part of the nail. Pray the 23rd Psalm and stomp on them, and that will tie you down to that land. That'll tie you down to that land. I see y'all over there tapping TikTok. I appreciate it. What's up, Lex? I see you over there. Hey. Lex said, hey, y'all. I know so many Lexes. Skybox Kenny, what's up, brother? Kenny, you started streaming yet? Get on it, my brother. Get on it. Naomi says, question, how do I use a children's success oil to help with potty training? Listen. Ooh. Let's see, you have boys. We just pee everywhere. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Because I think Noonie is about ready. Wreck-It Ralph. Oh my gosh, that is a battle. But listen, what you can do since you got boys is take a little bit of magnet oil and a little bit of that Success for Children oil and put it around the rim on the end, up under. You know where you squirt the Clorox spray up under there? Up under there. And that'll help with the aim. QB1974, what's going on? Thank you for the happy Father's Day. It's a safe space today. It is a safe space today. What's up, Sherry? Sherry, where you been? Let me tell you, some of y'all are so ingrained in like the broken army that when y'all ain't here, I'm like, where's Sherry been? Where's Sherry been? And where's Big Ice? We gotta find Big Ice. It ain't 420, so Big Ice should not be missing the way she is. Lex, thank you for the gifts. And you know what? Karma Marie, I forgot to give you your air horn. My bad. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sherry said I was in the tub. I feel you. I have to get in the tub. Miss Vibes, you gotta leave and come back? Well, come on back now. Come on back. I miss you. Look, y'all, people are making appointments to come down to Hoodoo Central. Y'all come on down. Make sure you bring your card. So, my sister, I am secretly trying to get her to quit work, which is hard because she has like a career. But I'm trying to get her to quit work so that they'll just work here. Just work here. Trying to get her to quit working. But she today, or maybe she did it yesterday, but mapped out some awesome places that when y'all come down, we could go check out. Some by cart, some by vehicle. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Midas, what's going on? How's it going? So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Kenny, you starting to stream tomorrow? Okay. Well, what type of content you going to stream? And you know what's crazy? Guys, if you're in my Discord, look on the side. There is a section that says, I think, member streams for you guys who do stream to post your stream so we can come and support each other. I don't think anybody has. I think I've posted some of y'all stuff in there, but that's where y'all post your own streams. Yeah, and I'm waiting. Like, you gonna stream video games? Listen, me and Black Cat and Scents and Fragrances, we were streaming, not streaming. We were playing Warzone, obviously. Now, see, Temperance downloaded Dead by Daylight, so we gotta hop on there, Temp. Play some Dead by Daylight. Now, those of you who don't know, that's kind of a horror game. It's like a survival game. And I don't know, it's good for screaming. And there was another game. what was it? Phasmophobia. Clarify Lifestyles, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. So that was Phasmophobia. It's like a ghost hunting game. If anybody, and now that one is Phasmophobia is a PC game. So if y'all want to like squad up with me on that game, let me know. It's on Steam, and it's one of those games where it's first person, and you're just ghost hunting. So it kind of vibes with the channel, where the game has proximity chat. Ashley with the super chat, Ashley said, "How can I make my ex legally disappear?" Okay, Ashley. Well, we only do legal things here. Okay, that's all we do. But I understand, because once you're an ex, I hate you at this point. There's no, we can't be friends. I hate you. So I understand. But if I were you, I would take a picture of them and put it into an old water bottle. What's up, Kato? Put it into an old water bottle. Fill 1/3 with salt, 1/3 with red pepper, 1/3 with sulfur mixed with graveyard dirt. Burn a black candle, drip the wax over it, go to a cemetery, drop 9 pennies. Make sure you take 18 pennies with you. Drop 9 at the doorway, go in, dig a hole somewhere, drop that bottle in there, turn around, come right back out. Drop them 9 pennies, going about your business. They'll leave you alone. They'll leave you alone. Okay? It's all right. And Ashley, I like the way you wrote that question on a $2 bill. Y'all ever been tempted? Because I saw this somewhere. This is not a Prophet Lou original. You ever been tempted, like somebody just and be like, listen, let's continue this conversation over Cash App. You ever been tempted to say it? Let's continue this conversation over Cash App. I've not said that yet, but it's been interesting. That's an interesting thing to say. Miss Harris shows, hey, y'all, I did the dirt swapping work for the property I want, and I've been sitting in the backyard of my dog to connect with it. Don't do that. Sitting in the yard of a property you want, it does not connect you with it. That makes people call 12 on you. Don't do that. There are certain things I see going around the spiritual community that I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Just like, do y'all know there's no such thing as destiny swapping? That's not a thing. Do y'all know there's no such thing as monitoring spirits? That is not a thing. Let the church say amen. That's not a thing. People love making up stuff so that they can make you afraid of something, and then they can sell you a cure for the thing that they made up. It goes on in medicine and it goes on in spirituality. Okay? Stop believing it. There's no such thing as destiny swapping. Now, sometimes what people will do, they will use a new term for something that's been around forever. Like what people call monitoring spirits is what the Bible called familiar spirits. And like people in Wicca have called them familiars, which is a spirit that you are comfortable with. But even that is very rare. You know why? Because the spiritual community is so wrought with paranoia. When people, no, I know the dirt swapping is a video I had. Yes, swapping the dirt. That is a working that I give out, but not just sitting in the backyard of property. Don't do that. Don't go sit in the backyard of it. So I forgot what was I saying. Hey Breeze, I see you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you added that, and I was telling you don't do that. Yes, you added that part, and I was telling you don't do that. That's not a thing. But no, like I think I can get back on track here. People, they take something and then they dress it up, and like okay, because the spiritual community, yes, is wrought with paranoia. When people come to spirituality, is often like I said as the resort or the result of a need, but also they will come to spirituality because they just are a little special, and that's all I'm gonna say. They're a little special. They're a little special. So they will try to blame that specialness on spirituality, meaning people will be just very paranoid. And y'all know there's a term for those types of folks. They're very paranoid. And then they come to spirituality and they're like, oh, whew, thank God. Everybody tried to tell me something was wrong with me. There ain't nothing wrong with me. This feeling of dread I feel all the time is a familiar spirit. And it's like, no, no, mm-mm, mm-mm. Just like people have come to me and say, oh my goodness, prophet, thank you so much. All this time I thought the voices in my head was this, that, and the third, but turns out they're spirits. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Go to pill call. Okay? Go to pill call. Get that prescription filled. Because not all these voices in your head are spirits. Some mm-mm. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. And so people know that a lot of people are paranoid, so they will make up something to be the scapegoat for their paranoia. Instead of just being honest and say, hey, it's okay to talk to somebody. Like, it is okay. But they don't want to do that, like, at all. So when it comes to monitoring spirit, I have had so many people come to me and say, oh my gosh, I feel like there's a monitoring spirit on me. And then respectfully, and this is a lot of stuff I say to myself, because they will tell me their story, and I'm like, ain't nobody trying to get no spirit to come watch you. You have Nathan going on. Ain't nobody coming to watch you. If you left your window open, wouldn't nobody want to watch you. So let alone pay a spirit. Stop. But for a lot of people, they feel like, well, you know, in this world where we have so many different technologies to connect us, we have social media, we have all this stuff that will connect us, people feel more and more separated. And so in a world where everyone is introverted, everyone is clamoring for attention, whether they want to admit to it or not. They're saying, notice me. And so like people say, if I can't be famous, I'll be infamous. Well, there are a lot of people who are like, well, nobody in life cares about me, but maybe these spirits do, you know, maybe spirits do. And that's what it is for a lot of folks. Seriously, for a lot of folks. So yeah, there's no monitoring spirits, and you can't destiny swap with someone. You can't even swap IDs with people. No. Now, you can steal someone's mojo. That's the working we do. But as far as destiny swap, I feel like that's another monitoring spirit thing. Somebody took a familiar spirit and gave it a catchy new name. Someone took like stealing somebody's mojo, because we've all heard this, right? Even from Austin Powers, they stole my mojo. We know that's something in Hoodoo, stealing someone's mojo, you stealing their swag, you stealing their swagger, stealing a lot, stealing, a little bit of what makes them, stealing their luck. But as far as destiny swapping, that's about as, oh, you can't say that word no more. I forgot I'm Gen X. There's a lot of words we can't say. Can't say that word no more. But that's about as weird as transmuting energy. Oh my gosh. TikTok. Hold on. Y'all on this screen. TikTok. Y'all transmuting energy now. Y'all are transmuting energy. So someone is sending bad juju at you, and you are turning it around and using that energy. That is not how. Oh my. As much as I fight to keep everybody on the right road when it comes to hoodoo, here y'all go, just listening to any and fellas, where we at? It's y'all. It's y'all. Now, ladies love to talk and gossip. So if somebody says something, ladies gonna spread it. But fellas, y'all be on TikTok listening to anybody that's got a pair of double D's swinging and she's waving some incense around, and y'all like, boy, she know what she talking about. She know what she talking about. Cause every time they with their cars, them things get to shaking, and you be like, boy, that's a spiritual sister right there. Amen. Y'all need to stop. Stop. Because you cannot transmute energy. You cannot aim a punch at my face and I swerve it and then the punch come around and hit you in the face. It don't work like that. So if you can't do something physically, then the same, is often spiritually. Kato, I saw you had a question, my brother. And Kato, you are a regular over on Kick, and I appreciate you. Kato says, there a spirit in Hoodoo called Black Chief Hawk, or is TikTok capping? Okay, there's a little bit of both, Kato. And the reason I say it's a little bit of both is because Mother Leafy Anderson spoke to a spirit with her mediumship ability by the name of Black Hawk. Okay? Now, Black Hawk is an actual Native American chief, or was. The problem with that is there are other folks who have Big Ice. Where you been? I was just telling everyone, I miss Big Ice. Where you been? So there's a lot of folks who took that and ran with it. But to be honest, and this is what a lot of people say, just because someone is old and well known does not mean that they were correct all the time. Because Mother Leafy Anderson, when she would channel Black Hawk, she would speak in stereotypical Native American dialect, and yeah, I don't think y'all know what I'm saying? Without me saying it, because Mother Leaf Anderson is an honored ancestor within the tradition. But you know what I'm saying, though? Yeah. Eh. But then, of course, y'all want to fast forward a bit? Kato, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Black Hawk was a spirit worked with by an honored elder, but even then, it's a little, I don't know. But the problem with Black Hawk now is, have y'all seen Black Hawk put down in a bucket? Y'all seen that? Like the doll put down in a bucket? I gotta find some. I'm once again, here I am, the crusher of dreams by being the bearer of truth. I'm gonna put y'all on a quick BRB. I'm gonna come right back. Ashley J said yes. Black Hawk in the bucket. Look, Kato said yeah. All right, I'm gonna be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. This ain't gonna take but a second. All right, I'm back. Had to get my iPad. Hold on. Y'all can hear me? Yeah, y'all can hear me. Oh, gosh. Here we go again. Talking about Black Hawk and these dolls. Here we go again. All right, so I'm trying to find the pictures that I had for you guys. And ironically, it was for something else, but it will work for Black Hawk as well. If I can find them. Oh, where did they go? Honestly, I had a picture of Black Hawk down in a bucket as well. Oh, never. Here we go. Okay. Now, a lot of times when people think Black Hawk, there, y'all see that? A lot of Black Hawk altars look like that, right? Matter of fact, this is someone's Black Hawk altar. You see that? Y'all seen that? Y'all, the same lady who made that up, made up the Big Mama dolls. That whole putting Black Hawk in a bucket, not a thing. It was not a thing before 2017. It was not a thing. Okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You'll absolutely see Big Mama dolls down in a bucket. Just like that. Right? That's what y'all have seen. Now don't look at the top of this and go, oh, I gotta buy this book. Do not ever buy this book. See, the problem is there was a palm-colored lady. A palm-colored lady made up the Big Mama doll in 2017. So anyone saying my family's been doing this for generations is telling a bald-faced lie. She made this up. She made them, and she took Black Hawk and put, you know why she put them both in buckets? Because before she waddled into the Hoodoo community, she was a part of the Santeria / Palo community. Not a part as in initiated, but a part as in dating a few of them. Okay? So if you are part of, an Orisha community, you've seen an Ogun pot. And if you are part of Palo Mayombe, you have seen an Nganga spirit pots. And so when she wrote her book, which a large part of it, she went, let me see how I'm going to come up with this book. Yeah, reached back to her ample derriere and pulled out stuff and was making it up. She pulled out the Big Mama doll and Black Hawk in a bucket because it was her way of making what she saw in an Ogun pot or an Nganga. Wap Rasta and Ashley, thank y'all both for the super chats. Y'all greatly appreciate it. Let me see. Ashley said recommendations for thunderstorm water for the X. Put some of that thunderstorm water into a bottle. Put 9 iron nails into it and a pinch of salt. When it starts to turn really black, pour a little bit on top of your ex's picture. African Queen says, question, is there a difference between spirit guides versus spirit teams? I've heard the spirit team is with you from birth to death, but no, when people say that, they are, now okay, African Queen, have you heard that in Hoodoo? Because that's not a thing in Hoodoo. That is not. So if you heard people say that spirit teams are a thing in Hoodoo, then hit me, then here, let me know. I'm gonna move down to the next question while you're answering that. Okay. Like I said, I've seen Big Mama dolls like that. Big Mama dolls in any form are not a team. There's no Big Mama doll. There's no Big Papa doll. There are no Orisha dolls. Those are not things. Respectfully, I know that there are people promoting things like that. Okay. I just, they're, yeah. Yeah, that's not a thing. Okay. Now I'm not saying the people promoting those, I'm not saying everything they're doing is wrong, because I know of one person who is highly respected in the spiritual community, and she was fooled by the Big Mama doll because the palm colored lady who made them up is 3 days older than God herself. So a lot of times people will look at an older person and go, oh, well, they must know what they're talking about. No, she made that up in 2017. So that's not something that has been going back for generations, as people like to make up, because no one ever wants to. I would have so much more respect, and I think y'all would too, if people would just come on here and say, hey, I just made this up a week ago. It's been working so far, and everybody I told it to, it worked for them. Y'all want to try it too? Wouldn't y'all respect that? Because you can't argue with results, right? That's one thing. You cannot argue with results. I lost a ton of weight on the Ashlands, on the Atkins diet, eating hot wings. And they were looking at me like, what kind of diet are you on? And I'm like, Atkins diet. And they're like, well, you dropping a bunch of weight. You can't argue with results. Right? But instead, people want to make up these bogus fugazi lineages to sell something that they just made up. And just say you just made that up. So anyway, yeah, let's keep on going. Rasta, what's going on? Let me see if you had a. Cato says, see, this is why I ask questions, and I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. So many people just jump in to stuff, and it's like, you want to calm down. Wop says, I just want to say thank you, fam. Your videos have changed my life. I wish I had more money to send. Listen, that right there is enough. Thank you. Because it was sincere. So that was enough. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Karma Marie, thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. Sravani, please do not put that question not one more time. I will get to you. Do not put that question not one more time. My pet, I hate spamming. Unless I be like, chat, spam ones in the chat. You know. Unless I do that, don't spam stuff over there. But you said, question, sir, please, should I light the roll photos of them like candles, sir? What should I do? That yes, light the whole thing. And after you're done with all the instructions, throw them away. Skybox Kenny says, hi, John Pot, coming soon. Listen, what scares me is I know that you're right. What scares me, Miss Thang, thank you so much for the super chat. I get to you. I got you. What scares me, Kenny, is I know you're right. Eventually, somebody's going to be like, oh, I know. Long time ago, my family used to make hot John in a pot. I bet you didn't know that. And dance around, sweaty. And it's like, oh my gosh. And the thing is, I can't say I fault y'all, but y'all know about ancestor altars. Y'all know about ancestor altars. So if you know about ancestor altars, why would you think your big mama is in that doll? Why? You buying Annabelle. Done dripped Annabelle sweat all in that. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, and the grown Jesus too. Look, Lex say, dang, Ashley, what you got going on? I'm thinking the same thing. Like, Ashley, calm down. Big Ice, you know I'm telling the truth. Golly. Carmen Marie said, probably what's the scripture for the sugar jar? You know, there's no particular scripture, but you can absolutely say the 23rd Psalm. Rasta said, I was going to say, I'll handle your ex. Man, if you don't. Lord have mercy. Sweet baby Jesus and the grown Jesus too. Any protection none needed. None needed. Cato said, can I always substitute 5-finger grass for regular outdoor grass for money workings? Not always. Not always. Well, I'll say it like this. Let me stop. Let me reverse it. If a working calls specifically for 5-finger grass, then no, you can't. But if a working calls for you to add a plant for like a money plant, because some working will say, add your favorite money plant, then you can use grass. Okay, so African Queen says, no, I've seen that in videos from people who do witchcraft and other spiritual workers. Okay, so there's no spiritual team in hoodoo. See, a lot of people will come to hoodoo, and the crazy part, well, it's not crazy, is, listen, y'all want to do a little TikTok thing? TikTok, yeah, y'all are. Y'all want to do a little TikTok thing? Put a finger down. No, but I've seen that a lot. Put a finger down. I saw one that was so freaky. I was like, ma'am, you need more fingers. Pause. But this is how a lot of people come to hoodoo. And listen, if any of this, I want to say, resonates with either you or someone you know, like, hit a 1 in my chat, okay? See, Orisha are everywhere. Orisha are everywhere. Atlanta, Miami, Texas, they everywhere. New York, they everywhere. So a lot of people get upset with church. They get upset with church, and then they want to come to African spirituality, and they usually will land with an Orisha practice first because they see the beads, and then they get all into it, and they get their lekes, they get their warriors, and then now they want to be a priest. And then they got to get that reading done, so they go to the Babalao, they go to someone, and the reading says, oh, you're supposed to be a priest. They say, all right, cool. Well, what's that going to take? Well, you're going to have to stay in my house for 2 weeks, and gonna need you to break me off about 8 to 10 grand. All of a sudden, whew, being a priest ain't I don't know if I'm ready for that commitment. So they leave and they go to Haitian voodoo. Oh my God, Haitian voodoo is where I should have been all along. I should have been here all along. Man, they was over there scamming me with the Orisha. Haitian voodoo is where I should have been. And they dancing around to Urzuli Freda and Papa Ogu and everything. They're like, man, I'm meant to be a priest. And so they go to the Mambo or Hungan, they get a reading, and the reading says, yes, you can be a Mambo or you can be a Hungan. They say, great, what's this gonna cost me? And then they say, well, you're gonna have to come to Haiti for a week and a half, and it's gonna cost you about $12,000. All of a sudden it's like, oof. I don't think the spirits they really didn't mean for me to do this. They didn't. So they go to Palo, and then finally they watch Sinners, or they watch the Skeleton Kill Eve's Bayou. They go to grandmama's house and find 1 bottle of oil and go, you know what? I come from a long line of root workers. This is where I was supposed to be all along. And then they end up in hoodoo, but they've been to all these other places. And so some of these people who you see want to bring things from those other traditions, like a spiritual court. If you've been around a bunch of espiritistas or whatever, you've heard about a spiritual court. You heard about spiritual court. There's no spiritual court in hoodoo. There's no spiritual team in hoodoo, okay? You have your ancestors, and of course, some of them have been with you since birth. Some of them transition while you were here. But there's no guardian angels, random spirit guys, nothing like, no, we don't have that here. So, yeah, no spiritual team. Granddaughter, what was your question? Type it again. I missed it. Ms. Thang, thank you so much for the super chat. Says a simple spell to separate 2 toxic co-workers. Look, get you 2 broom straws, okay? Put your finger on top of one and call the name of one of the co-workers. Put your finger on top of the other one. Call the name of one of the co-workers. Twist it around each other till they make a cross, spit dead center, and then toss it in the workplace. They will they'll split up, break up, and all this other stuff. Good stuff. Lex, I know who that voice is. Show you right, Lex. Show you right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see you all for Hoodoo Church the first Sunday. Y'all need y'all are messed. Elise, it's probably when you be doing the per minute readings. I will be back doing them in the morning, probably around 10 o'clock or whenever Noonie wakes up. If you go to my website, when the light is green, I'm here. Empress Dawn says, hey, question, is there a spell to secure a house? Yeah, go and print out a picture of the house that you want. Get you a railroad nail, wrap it around the railroad nail, tie it real tight with twine, and then drive that nail into the ground of where you live now. See, Sarlo, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Hamilton Mutt says, question, Psalm 23 seems to be the go-to psalm for everything. Are there other psalms that have a similar purpose? Absolutely. But the reason I tell you guys to memorize the 23rd Psalm is because it can be used for everything. It's not that it's just one of those things that we just say use that for everything to get away from having to use it for things. But, think about it. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I tell all of my students and everyone that I've taught classes to, I say, listen, just that says I shall not want, meaning I shall want for nothing. I don't need anything. So that can be used for finances, for money. When you get to my cup runneth over and you visualize your cup running over, it can be used for anything. If you go back to the beginning where it says he maketh me to lie down in green pastures, you've got to know sheep. A sheep will not lie down unless it knows that it is protected, unless it knows it is safe. That's the only time a sheep will lay down, because sheep are food for a lot of predators. So for a sheep to lay down, it knows it is safe, it is protected, and so therefore we use that for protection, like we do. And retribution not just retribution, but revenge work. He prepares the table before me in the face of mine enemies. Like, look what I got, and you don't. He prepares the table before me in the face of mine enemies. See, which part of the psalm you are focusing on will dictate the alignment of the psalm with your working. That's why you hear people say, use the 23rd Psalm. It's not like, use the 23rd Psalm. It is when you look at the different parts of the psalm, the different parts will go with a different working. Amen. Jojo, thank you so much. Right, Cato said, they know it should have been a whole bunch of ones in the chat. Look, a lot of people come to Hoodoo after they done been scammed through everywhere else. And then they're like, phew. But listen, ancestors will get you here one way or the other. Right, and swear they have it in their lineage. Right. Haitian voodoo, I understand. He says Haitian voodoo is something definitely different. Not going to lie, it scares me. There's nothing in Haitian voodoo that should scare you any more than things in hoodoo. That should scare you any more than different things in Orisha. That should scare you any more than things in Palo. The only thing that scares people about Haitian voodoo is when they don't really know a lot about it. And there's an instinctual fear that was cultivated by Hollywood, just the word voodoo. Trust me, dig into it, King Ty. Haitian voodoo is a beautiful religion. Great Mischief over on Kick says, question, did you ever give the mimic at your place the Ash Ketchum treatment? No. And it's actually kind of died down. Sorry for the cough. Is the mimic, if those of you who don't know, we had a mimic here that would sometimes sound like me, sometimes sound like my sister. And I think, honestly, I don't think it's kicked up since that time. It spoke in the room when we were both together. All right. So for those who don't know, Hoodoo Central is, there's a a road that runs through Hoodoo Central. You can't see it because it's overgrown. It's just on the property line. And there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. And we had an actual mimic. And so it was just something that before you never knew, because I have a parrot and the parrot talks. And I would think my sister was saying something, but she didn't. I'm like, oh, maybe I just heard the TV. Maybe I just heard the parrot or whatever, until it started happening to her as well. And so it culminated in, we were both kind of in the same room, because the way the layout is, she was in the living room, I was in the kitchen, but I have an open floor plan. So it's not like I was around the corner or something. And I heard her say something, but she heard her say something too. She said, I heard that too. And I heard it coming from where she was sitting. She heard it coming from where I was standing. And we were like, oh, okay, you got bold. You got bold. What's up, Lasagna? Thank you for being a channel member. So yeah, that's what was going on. Lonnie says, question, don't you have to drink that drink and die and come back to life in Haitian food? Lonnie, go on. Lonnie. And how John likes bacon, Lonnie. I'm just messing with you. So do y'all know why? And Lonnie, you know you're one of my favorite folks. Do y'all know why I'm so protective and I don't let people come in here and give y'all workings? Do y'all know why? Because sometimes in the chat, somebody won't get their question answered by me fast enough, so somebody else in the chat will answer them, and then I'll tell them, no, don't do that. Don't come to my chat answering questions. Y'all have probably seen me do that before. And the reason being, Lani is one of my favorite people. She's over on Kick right now. I gotta scroll down anyway, because I was like getting way, way behind. I was getting way behind. So Lonnie over on Kick was like, don't you have to drink that drink? So yeah, that's from the Serpent and the Rainbow, Brock. So Lonnie was in my chat. Somebody came in the chat and said, y'all know Hi John likes bacon. And Lonnie immediately typed in the chat, ooh, thanks for the tip. And I said, no, that's not a tip. That's stupid. No, that is not a tip. Don't do that. And so that shows, and everyone saw that in real time, right? See, there she go. Lonnie said, I'm still embarrassed about that bacon. See, that just showed in real time how someone will say something and somebody else will, oh, thanks for the tip. And I'm like, no, that was not a tip. So slow down. So that's why, if y'all ever wonder why I'm always like, no, don't come in here. Don't come in here, giving out workings. And people will be like, dang, my bad. And yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm sorry. I feel very strongly about when y'all are here. I'm going to make sure that what you leave with is actual and traditional. So it may seem a little harsh. I'm sorry. African Queen says, who do you look at in Hoodoo as the highest God? God. 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 Who do you look at in Hoodoo as God? God. Next question. Thanks for asking. We were just talking about the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. 23rd Psalm, Bible, God. There we go. Everything else is a spirit. Everything else is a spirit. See, look, and even in the African cosmology, in Orisha tradition, there's only one God, Aludamare. In Palo Mayombe, there is only one God, Nsambi. In Haitian voodoo, there's only one God, Bondi. Everyone else is a spirit, not deities, not gods, plural. African traditional religions are monotheistic, mono, one. They love to say that we worship many gods. That was an Egypt thing. I know, Hotepers, I'm sorry, we didn't come from Egypt. I know, Kemet, we didn't. West Coast of Africa. That's where we came from. West Coast. Wasn't nobody trucking all the way up to Egypt to come get us. So yeah, God, that's it. That's it. Everybody else is a spirit. Everyone else is a spirit. Aphrodite says, my family's mostly black Southern Baptists. Mine too. Nobody practices hoodoo in my family in the open. Good for them. Good for them. And that is how it is. That's how it is. Y'all, hold on. Sound like something just fell. African Queen says, what specific God? The name, that's what I'm asking, because there are many gods. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. There's not. Be right back. Ooh, Lord. All right, I'm back. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. There are many gods. Are you from TikTok? Are you from TikTok? This one of y'all? Jazzy J, this one of y'all? This one of y'all's? Y'all lit? Aphrodite says, how do I learn to reconcile using the Bible and who? What do you mean? What do you mean? Aphrodite, how do you learn to reconcile using the Bible and hoodoo? It's always been there. It's always been there. Ain't that something? See, family, all right, listen. Pull on in. Come close. Here we go. It has always been there. So when people go, well, the ancestors came here. Right, they did not come here with the Bible. They absolutely did not. But they didn't come here with hoodoo either. Hoodoo was constructed here. They came here with Orisha. They came here with Palo Mayombe. Well, at the time, it was just in Ganga because it came straight from the Congo. Palo Mayombe is a diasporic tradition from Cuba, just like a lot of what we practice with Orisha now. Anyway, but hoodoo was constructed after a lot of converting had gone on. I know people don't like that because, let's face it, a lot of the spiritual community, as it relates to hoodoo, is church hurt. What's up, Shango Ray? It's church hurt. Remember when I was giving that scenario? Oops, my bad. That's my scenario. Remember I was talking about how a lot of people wanted to research the religion of their African roots. That's how they went to Orisha, then the Voodoo. Remember that in the beginning? Well, something happened to make them want to part with the church. A lot of people are church hurt. Everybody want to heal traumas now. Boy, I tell you, there's one thing I can't stand. This new age, nowadays everybody wants to be some kind of amateur psychologist. Oh yeah, I gotta heal your traumas. Shut up. Look, sometimes it's just tough. Get over it. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. And so people are church hurt, and then they want to, come somewhere else, and then it's like, oh my gosh, you mean I've got to work with the Bible? Yes. But where did this disconnect from Hoodoo and the Bible initially come from? The disconnect with Hoodoo and the Bible initially came from the marketeers who wanted to sell you Hoodoo. And you know what they realized in its current, at the time, in its traditional form, Hoodoo was in the black church. Hoodoo and the Bible were inseparable. And you know what they realized? Just selling Hoodoo to us wasn't going to make them rich. So they had to make it a little more palatable across the board. So they took out the word religion and they swapped it for a system of folk magic. Because religions can't be changed, but systems can. And even the word tradition they added because traditions can be evolved. Religions tend to stay how they are. So they took the word religion out systematically. They did that. And then they repackaged it under a system of folk magic or a tradition. Because with traditions or systems, then they could take things out that you didn't like the taste of. So if you didn't like going to church anymore, then they could say, hey, you don't have to pray the 23rd Psalm. Just pray something meaningful to you or use a mantra. They said that. They said that. Or in a system, where the Bible is separated, well, now the people who watch the craft have something they can go do. They picked apart things so that people can now cherry pick. You cannot go to any spiritual group around here, Wicca, Gardnerian witches, Strega, okay, certain Orisha houses, and not see a bit of Hoodoo. Because they took the word religion out, so now people think, well, I like the oils. Where the hell they making Oshun oil at? And since now it's a system, if you put the word MY in front of it, MY, my, then that means I can do whatever I want to with it now. So now with my Hoodoo, not the Hoodoo, but now my Hoodoo, we can do whatever now. The sky's the limit. With my Hoodoo, old school Hoodoo may not have done that, but my Hoodoo, we work with the moon. My Hoodoo, we dance around naked with waist beads on. My Hoodoo, we care about astrological signs. That none of that was old school traditional Hoodoo. None of it. A very real but uncomfortable fact that no one likes when I say it. In my Hoodoo, we use honey jars. No, we do not. We've never used honey jars. Catherine Ironwood of Lucky Mojo made up honey jars because when she moved Lucky Mojo to Forestville, California, she was around a bunch of beekeepers. And since she is a hippie, she wanted to change She wanted to support her beekeepers. Catherine Ironwood of Lucky Mojo Curio Company has a history of wanting to change things just to suit her. She wanted, look, she helped to found an organization to bring women into masonry, not as Eastern Stars, but to be Masons, just because she thought it wasn't fair that women should not be excluded. And with that same energy, she set out to change Hoodoo. My bad, Kenny. Any protections needed when live stream besides Jetstone, or Cross, stuff like that. In traditional Hoodoo, we work with what we had. But in my Hoodoo, you've got to put a million different things together that if we were back on the plantation, we would have never gotten it done, because who had that type of time? We got to work, get out. In traditional Hoodoo, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time to brew up an oil, strain it out, and then poke the roots back it down into the bottle to make it look pretty. To make it look pretty. Because see, in traditional Hoodoo, I don't need it to look pretty. I need it to be effective. I don't need it to look pretty. I need it to be effective. I do not need to put mica chips in oil so that it shimmers and looks like fancy lip balm or whatever it is y'all ladies use. I don't need that. Because in old school Hoodoo, I'm not scared and I'm not sitting at home doing everything. I'm coming up to the job, I'm putting this oil on my hands, and I am shaking your hand to put this controlling oil on you so that I can get this job. And I don't want you to look down after you shook my hand and go, what's all this sparkly shit on my hand? Help me, Holy Ghost. And unfortunately, there's so much going on within the Hoodoo community that people are just making up as they go along. And people are going for it just because. I don't know why. Y'all know, if you look at a candle and the whole is flame coming out of all of it, not just this, we know from a young age and birthday parties, family, come here, lean in. We have had birthday parties and we know what part of the candle to light. So why is the whole thing burst into flames and y'all like, woo, look at that. Ooh, look at that. They not doing this to Hoodoo anymore. Now we are. The call is coming from within the house. The call is coming. We are the ones marketeering Hoodoo now. It's us. Look, I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm gonna do y'all one more. Just because, hey, Jeet, thank you. If I'm trying to tell all of you to buy a Tesla, but I have nothing but Cadillacs in my driveway, back it up, because I want y'all to listen. If I'm trying to sell all of you a Tesla, but in my driveway, there's nothing but Cadillacs, y'all gonna look at me crazy, right? Because you're like, listen, why are you trying to push this off on me? But you don't even use that. Isn't that what y'all would say? Come on, tell the truth and shame the devil. Y'all look at me like I was crazy. Like, hold on. You trying to push this off on us? You don't even have that in your driveway. You know you would. That's not even in your driveway. Why are you trying to push it off on me? So why y'all trying to buy hoodoo from people who all wrapped up in Orisha beads? I'll wait. Let that sink in. I'll wait. Hold on. Let me go. Look, I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to let that sink in. Look, turn to your neighbor and explain it if they don't get what I'm saying. I'm just giving y'all a little food for thought, family. Just giving y'all a little food for thought. That's it. Because see, I understand something. When a lot of people come to this tradition, man, that the pain is palpable. The pain is palpable. Either you on your last, listen. A lot of people come to this tradition and broken up with, crushed, or just broke financially, crushed, or they just want the community aspect. They're lonely, crushed, and they're on that last little bit of faith. They don't even, a lot of times, care. All they're saying is, please, just give me something to believe in. And here comes the marketeers with the Birdman. Oh, I'm going to give you something to believe in, all right. Woo-hoo, I'm going to give you something to believe in, all right. And so I know that so many, y'all are brilliant people. It's just the emotion that makes you want to fall for anything. If you had time to think about it logically, you would come to the same conclusion I had. If you have an ancestor altar, you don't need a big mama doll. Why would she be in that ugly doll if you spent time on your altar? Anybody? Okay. Look, this is gonna sound crazy, but I promise you, I'm gonna bring it home. I promise you, I'm gonna bring it home. Because one thing I've come through TikTok. I see it on TikTok. I know it happens on YouTube Shorts. I know it happens on YouTube Shorts, but I've seen it on TikTok a lot where folks will every like, all right, y'all, we at our Wednesday tap in. We're at our Wednesday tap in. $5 for our Wednesday tap in. And you just automatically give the $5. In another incarnation, I worked at an animal hospital. And you know dogs get worms, right? I promise it's gonna make sense. Dogs get worms. Now at the grocery store, they used to sell this thing called once a month dewormer. I mean, it's a pill you give your dog once a month to take the worms away. Once a month to take the worms away from the dog. And when I worked at animal hospital, the vet was like, that crap doesn't work. And I was like, what? My grandma buys it all the time. The vet said, look, if I deworm your dog one time, I give him some medicine one time, all the worms are gone. If you have to give something every month, they're not going away. Take it easy, Brock. Thanks for coming. So if you got a $5 tap in all the time, some ain't tapping. Some ain't tapping. Maybe that's just me. Probably is. Probably just me. It's probably just me. So I say that, family, listen. A lot of times we like to overly romanticize the ancestors, and I totally get it. I do, because people come into hoodoo and they're like extra spooky and want spooky and everything, and they're like, "Oh, my ancestors and this." That. I totally get it. I do. But if their ancestors were anything, they were very practical people. The early oils didn't smell good. They a lot of times was old fish grease. Absolutely. Some of us will go to church now, and the pastor will put some anointing oil on. You go, whew, because that olive oil done went rancid. We use what we had. Okay. Now, using what we have does not mean just do anything because we're lazy. Well, I didn't have an outside, so I put that in a potted plant. No, it means go outside. We did workings because I could not get done what I need to get done, and the Spirit took me the rest of the way. See, hoodoo evolved because on the plantation, I had to understand that I couldn't do to master and the overseers what I wanted to do, because it was not just me. And though I may have been willing to accept the consequences for my actions, and it would have felt amazing to do these things, I couldn't. Because my sister, Noonie, Wreck-It Ralph, do not deserve to bear the consequences for my actions. So I had to turn to the spirits. Oftentimes those tears were not of sadness, they were of rage and of restraint for having to hold myself back. And the spirits heard that and said, don't worry, I got you. Because I'm not fighting for you, I'm fighting with you. But now we want the spirits to fight for us now. The spirits do for us what we could not get done for ourselves. But we want to spend $20 on a money candle and sit and go, why have I not won the lottery yet? I don't understand. If you want your work to work, start working. Let that make sense. If you want your work to work, start working. I did a love working for a fellow. And after a while, he was like, man, come on, Lou. Man, shoot. Man, it ain't hit. I said, well, what you do when you asked her out? Because it was a young lady at his job. I said, well, what did you do when you asked her out on a date? He said, I was supposed to ask her out. Sweet baby Jesus, and the grown Jesus too. I wish I was making that up. He said, I was supposed to ask her out? Did it working for a god sister of mine in Palo. Same circumstances. And then after a week, I said, what you got going on? She said, nothing, it's dry over here. I said, well, you going out? Dude's not trying to holler. She said, I don't go nowhere. I go to work, come home. I said, ma'am, tallywhackers don't knock on doors. This ain't the hub. You got to go out there where they at. Tallywhackers don't knock on doors. You got to go where they at. This ain't going to be one of them, hey, ma'am, I was delivering your Amazon package, and I thought, well, I got another package I wanted. That don't. You got to get out there. Yeah, I said tallywhackers because we over on TikTok too. You know that, and they'll clip you for anything. If you want your work to work, get to work. The spirit will carry you the rest of the way, but the spirit ain't gonna tote you the whole way. This ain't the footsteps thing. My brother said, Kit gonna make me rich because where I'm from, you can't run ads. We don't have Google AdSense yet, so it's a hassle to make money on YouTube and Twitch. But with this Kick Creator Incentive Program, I'm motivated as ever. All right, my brother, let's run it up. Lonnie said, when I tell you profit working, be working, but you have to put in the work. I have had money come from all directions, sent folks to the upper room, and got every job I applied to is working's work. And not one time, Lonnie, did you have to give Hi John any bacon. Not one time. You'll never live that down. But it's why we love you. Because whenever I think Lonnie, I think, oh, thanks for the tip. And I'm like, had I not said anything, she was going to run home and give Hi John the Conqueror some bacon. You know she was. DJ, thank you for the harmony. I appreciate it. The upper room with Jesus. Yeah, I'm sending everybody. Yeah, send people to the upper room. Oh, we crowded. We crowded. So in a nutshell, family, listen. Learn how to dress your candles. Don't overload them. Don't overcrowd them. If anybody is selling you oils with stuff poked all down in them, I mean, people do it their way, right? If I send you an oil and there's a root, something still floating in there, send that back. I didn't mean for you to have that. Because remember, the ancestors were very practical and they were very resourceful. So yes, we would make one master jar of oils that has all the roots and stuff in them. And then we would strain them out and take the roots that are left, dry them out, normally in the windowsill, dry them out, grind them up. Oh, this is Love Me Only. No, I don't want to spray y'all with that. That's Love Me Only powder. Protect. Yeah. And then we take the ground up and make a powder out of them. That was protection powder for y'all. Y'all welcome. That's what we would do. Not wasting them. Not wasting them. We didn't waste these things. What's up, big baby girl? Just because we've used these to make oil doesn't mean all the virtue has left them. We will absolutely use them again. Oh no, African Queen, you didn't offend me. I just kind of felt sorry for you because I was like, you really think it's a bunch of gods out here? Man, this hoodoo thing gonna be rough on you. Sheesh. This hoodoo thing gonna be rough on you. Traditionally, now actually, whatever method you use to do a reading with is fine and dandy. Seriously. Now, we would read bones. And you know what's funny? I see people making all these fancy bone sets. I've got a coyote's bone. Man, we would, what? And this is not being stereotypical. But we would use chicken bones, pig bones, because that was one thing that we had access to. To this day, chickens are scared of black people. I go outside, the chicken, because they know one wrong move and I will wrap some grease around their ass. One wrong move. All it take. We will wrap some grease around his ass. Pardon my language on a Sunday. But it's Father's Day, doggone. I'm taking advantage. How do you process the bones? Like get them ready, strip them down, and old school, we just dump them on the ant pile. Ants will take care of the rest. Steph says, follow your instructions on a simple candle petition working so well. Amen. Right, sizzle, sizzle. Look, the ants will take care of the rest. Look, go and get you a rotisserie chicken. Because it's summertime now. Get you a rotisserie chicken. Eat the rotisserie chicken. Boil the bones up. Set what's left on the ant pile. Come back in about 3-4 days. You got you some bones. Y'all jokers out here buying all kinds of weird bones and whatnot. Lord have mercy. Somebody asked a moon question. Hood Hood Mrs. Reloaded. Yeah, no glitter. We do not use glitter. You know what's so funny? Okay, so listen, and then I'm gonna get out of here because my sister has a headache, so I gotta go get Wreck-It Ralph and Noonie. So, family, listen. I know y'all hear people say I get messages from spirit. I get, I'm getting things coming to me from spirit. Y'all heard that spirit singular, like not spirit. Yeah, I started that mess, and I'm so ashamed. I started that mess about 10 years ago. So, like everybody down south, you know, yeah, I grew up thinking I had some Indian in my family. Everybody down south got some Indian in their family. Normally Cherokee. Let all the old people tell it because we got the baby hairs. I got the baby hairs right there, right? And so I was going through my Native American history phase, and I'm like, man, a lot of tribes, refer to the Most High as the Great Spirit. And I'm like, there's other spirits, but there's the Great Spirit. I'm vibing with that. But I wanted to be different, so I would just say spirit. Talk to me, spirit. And since I've been around forever, people within the Hoodoo community would hear that and then start to repeat it without knowing that I literally one day just like Star Cassis did with the Big Mama doll, just plucked it out of my tail one day. Seriously, just one day I decided, spirit. And then I stopped. But these folks keep saying it. And you know what's funny talking about glitter? Somebody asked one of these doggone hoodoo weirdos, well, you keep saying, why do you put the glitter on your candles? Because they were shaking, like it was shake and bake. It's shake and bake. They were shaking, baking the glitter all over that candle. You couldn't even see the candle no more. And then she was like, spirit likes it. And you know what? If y'all ever hear somebody say, I'm getting messages from spirit, right? Ask them what spirit. I want you, please promise me y'all do that. Ask them what spirit are they getting messages from. Because see, now you're putting them on the spot. There is nothing in spirituality that you should not be able to quantify. You should not be able to quantify. That's why I teach y'all the whys. Everything has a reason. Everything shouldn't be something that you're expected to just go with. The reason I teach the way I do is because we're all adults. And once you reach adulthood, there comes a time when because I said so no longer cuts it. Because I said so, don't cut it. So tell me why. Tell me who. So when you ask some of these folks, well, what spirit likes glitter? See what they start to make up. See what they start to make up. Because they're not going to say, when I say spirit, I mean the Lord. Because then you're going to be like, oh, so God said put some glitter on this candle. They're not going to say that because that sounds rude. You can't say that no more. See, are they going to say the Orisha? They're not going to say the Orisha won't glitter on the candles because they know some of y'all are from the Orisha tradition. And so they don't want to get chin checked in public about making that up. They're not going to say the Lawat. They're not going to say Papa Legba or anybody wants glitter. They're not. They're not going to say any of the Mpunga or Palamayome want glitter. They're not going to say the ancestors because most our ancestors weren't no glittery people. So who wants the glitter? So then when they say, well, the fairies love it, that's when you get to sit back and go, so your black ass talking to fairies, now? Let me swipe on past here. Pardon my language. You talking fairies and leprechauns now, really? It's 2025. We ain't going for it no more. And JoJo, thank you for being a subscriber over there. We ain't going for it no more. I have no problems answering y'all's questions because, like, look, my godfather's not in the chat tonight, but he's the one in Paulo, my godfather in Paulo. He's the one who taught me there's a difference between asking questions and questioning. You can ask me questions all day, but don't question me. What's the difference? Asking questions mean you want to sincerely know something. Questioning means you feel like you already know. Don't waste my time questioning me. I've been doing this for way too long. If I know it, it comes out my mouth. If I don't know it, I actually shut up. Let me keep on going. Oh, somebody asked, do we work with the moon in Hoodoo? No. Traditional Hoodoo, moon person, are you there? Because you were over on TikTok, I believe. Somebody on TikTok asked about the moon. We have never worked with the moon cycle at all. Never. You're still there? Okay. Rudy, okay. So KB, the answer is no. We have never worked with the moon. And it's simply because if there was a working that needed to be done on a full moon, and if I just missed the full moon, how long is it going to take for that full moon to come back around? Some of y'all know better than me. That's not my wheelhouse. If I miss the full moon, roughly how long is it going to take to come back around? Bree said a month. Juju Man said a month. 2 to 4 weeks, dang near 28 days, 21, 28 days. Okay. My whole family been sold off. And I'm swinging from a tree. And not by the feet. You get what I'm saying? I'm not swinging by my feet. So we worked when we needed to work. We worked when we needed to work. It's the same thing for other African traditional religions will have certain taboos as far as a woman doing workings on that time of the month. We didn't. Because of the systematic oppression of the black male and buck breaking and things like that. Sis, I need you working now. I'm sorry you can't take a week off. My bad. My bad. Put a cork there and get them candles lit. We got to hold this family together. We got to keep this tradition. We got to stay on this planet. There were no moon phases. There were no crystals. We out in the middle of a cotton field. Where are we plucking rose quartz from? There were no self-love workings. I'm sitting there, swing low, sweet chariot. Hey, Jebediah. What's that, George Washington? You ever just not feel good about yourself? Every goddamn day, swing low, sweet. There were no self-love workings. First world problems. Someone asked, Black Cat. Oh, sorry. Black Cat says, traditionally, has there ever been a group that root workers beef with? Not really. Each other. They don't never stop. But a lot. I tell you what. Even though the rest of it was Hollywood, there was a little bit of truth to American Horror Story Coven. There's a little bit of truth to that. I went in a shop in Little Five Points one time. One of my god kids. No, this was not Little Five Points. This was not Little Five Points. There was a shop that catered to other spiritual workers in Atlanta. Went in there one time with my god kids after a ceremony, and the lady behind the counter was like, low magic, savages. She ain't here no more. She ain't here no more. Excellent question, Kenny. Kenny says, so when did Lodestone, Jetstone, and Fool's Gold come into Hoodoo? Lodestone was often used because Lodestone would pop up oftentimes when the ground was tilled. And people would find it stuck to plows. That's how they found out it was magnetic. And the same thing with Jetstone, because me being from Georgia, we used to have an actual basement. Meaning an actual basement, because nowadays they'll put a concrete slab down and then build up. So the basement nowadays is technically the first level, but a true basement was below ground. And we had an unfinished basement, and we would go down there just to see the red clay on the walls, and you could pick pieces of Jetstone just out of the red clay. Yeah, you could pick pieces of Jetstone out of there. But I bet you, you see how Kenny just asked that question? Asking a question, but not questioning. But ain't nobody go, you know what? I went to pick that cotton, and look what I found. Got a little twang to it, but hey, it's all right. Let's string them all up and put them all on our waist. Put it on our waist. Not cut ball G. Throw some D's on it. Yeah, she ain't here no more. Yeah, unfortunate things befell her. That's a shame. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Where did dance ancestors find glitter on the planet? I know, right? Hey, the world may never know. All right, y'all. Anything else before I get up out of here? Because I hear Noonie. So I got to go. And I've been on here for an hour. Man, I don't know. I'm about to go now. I've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes. Listen, thank you everyone who sowed a seed. Thank you, Gohan, for the gifted membership. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Rasta. Thank you, Miss Thang, for the gifts. Y'all been absolutely amazing. TikTok, thank you to all my friends. Lex, JoJo, Breeze, Jeet, Steph, Miss Brooklyn, 8, Dimples, IT Girl, Felicia, Kariana, Emac, TLC, Pamela, Rooted by Culture, Shango, Ray, Van Road Dog, Valerie. I think I'm reading this right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Thank you to everyone who tapped the screen, everyone who shared. Thank you to all my subscribers, my channel members, the people on Kick who are helping keep that alive. Listen, family. Listen. Family. Y'all got spoiled this weekend. Starting tomorrow, the majority of the live streams are going to be on Kick. Okay? YouTube and TikTok are going to be for the pre-recorded content. So, TikTok, YouTube. I'm going to post y'all, clips from the live streams like this that are going to be on Kick. But if you want to catch me live, you might want to go over to Kick. We have a good time over there. I think yesterday we even watched some scary movies. Watch some scary movies. Hood Mistress Reloaded said, when will you visit LA and check out the hoodoo scene out here? You mean Los Angeles? Or are you abbreviating Louisiana? Which one? Wicked B of the West, I had a question. What was your question? African Queen says, do you have a video about traditional hoodoo herbs? It's funny you would ask. It's funny you would ask. All right, guys. So the next upcoming webinar is in exactly 10 days. It is on June the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is on dun, 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 Hoodoo Roots and Herbs. So make sure you go to my website, www.trueconjure.com. Trueconjure.com and book your seat. Okay? Make sure you book your seat. We're going to have a good time. And listen, my sister said, because y'all, I told y'all I'm not doing any more mentorships, but this is what she said. She said I should have 2 group classes a year that run for like 12 weeks. So I'm thinking that over. But when you go to my website, you will see community and things like that. Everything's going to be on my site right there. I'll think about it. Wicked B of the West said, why are we always... Root workers never really beef with people like that, okay? The Palo community likes to beef within itself because it's always about who knows the most, It's just like a bunch of church deacons who argue about who knows the most scripture, right? Then you've got... And in the voodoo and the Risha community, of course, it's about who's the strongest Mambor Hungan or who's got the most God kids. But as far as like spiritual beefs, it's not really a thing all the time, except for, one of my other folks swore that dressing up in fancy robes and chanting, oh man, like Crowley. Crowley didn't really have a problem with root workers. He just, thought our methods were too simple. I mean, Aleister Crowley. Until Black Herman turned his hand into a chicken claw. Then took Crowley allegedly a couple of weeks before he could turn it back himself. All right, Wicked B said, I've gotten dreams about people's personal business, people I don't know. What does that mean? Have you verified that your dreams are accurate? Because you could just be dreaming about them. Because just because we're spiritual doesn't mean that dreams are prophetic, because a lot of dreams are not. So, okay, so they are accurate. Well, sometimes you just got gifts that want to peek through. But yep, I hear Noonie crying, so I gotta go. All right, but if Noonie lets me, I'll try to go live from the living room. It'll just be on Kick and it'll be on my phone. But let me get out of here. All right. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have been amazing. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.